Good morning, video games. Welcome to Filthy Casuals, a podcast about video games, hosted by two very kind and extremely knowledgeable boys. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tommy Dasilo, and that's all the old business out of the way. New business, joining me as always, Ben Vanel.
That's right, new father. I am now the father of a small puppy dog.
Yep.
I'm very excited.
Fur daddy.
I'm a fur daddy. I'm a pup father. Little Louie, of course, not named after Louis C.K., as every comedian friend that I know has suggested.
I said it to you. I thought it was great stuff.
Yep.
Then a group chat that we're in, you dropped the photo, and everyone else in there made the same joke.
Yep.
And I was like, no. And then I went, yeah, fuck. I mean, I feel bad enough about this. But Ben must be copping it all weekend.
Yeah, it's okay though, because that's not why we named him Louis. He is, of course, a French bulldog, and we named him after King Louis of France.
Is that true?
No, actually.
Yeah.
It was a
I
happy
just assumed
coincidence.
it was the name that the dog came with.
No.
Oh, really?
So it was like a puppy, like from a professional rescuer.
Yep.
And they basically didn't name him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Cupid, of course, his original name, Cupid's his slave name.
Yes.
His original name was Dragon.
Yeah.
And I found out that, like, I don't know, something about, like, when, with the rescue dogs, when they're in the system, they can't have a name that's, like, the same as any other dog in the system.
Right.
So there's obviously, like, so many dogs at any given point in the rescue system. So obviously Charlie and Simon are all gone.
Archie.
So that's why,
Yep.
that's why you look on those sites and you see, like, Excalibur.
Yeah, totally.
Pepsi.
Yeah, I think, I forget which one, but they give them like a last name as well.
Yeah.
That's like a common last name, so the combos are always different. But yeah, I think on his little microchip card it says Freckles, which is, I guess, just a placeholder. Because literally the woman was like, we don't bother naming them.
Cracks me up every time I get a text from either like the vet or the groomer that he's due for the Cupid's due for something, and it comes through as Cupid Allsop. I just love that he's just you know, it's like, it is really like if you're in a couple and you have the dog.
Yep.
It just literally is like the first person to take him into any one of those places.
Right.
I didn't write that down.
Yeah.
I just put my name down for a contact detail.
Yeah.
And then they go, well, the dog has your last name.
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
sick.
we're a progressive couple. Can you hyphenate it, please?
Well, there are a couple of places where Lauren's taken him first, and so she'll get a text.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be like QB, her surname.
Wow.
I'm like, well, we got it. This is just a disaster.
He's going to be really confused.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we obviously had been looking for a little bit, and that thing where your whole life until you own a pet, you're like thinking of cool pet names.
Yeah.
You're like, I should do it as a reference to this book I like. And then it all goes out the window, and we're in the car going home, and I just look at him and I'm like, he kind of looks like a Louis.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's it.
Well, also the idea of if it's anything too deep, if it's anything like too, a character from a video game or some reference to some fucking director.
Yeah.
You just imagine like the next 15 years of your life having to explain that to people. And,
yes. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just you really do pretty quickly lose faith in how cool it actually is of a name.
I mean,
do people with kids get that? Maybe like
I was about to say
maybe day one, like early, like first couple of months when you're like, this is our kid and we called him this.
Right.
You might get that, or maybe people just don't interrogate it too much. But surely by the time, let's say you meet someone new and your child is 18 and you're like, yeah, this is my son Rudiger.
Yeah.
And like no one's going to say with a grown-ass adult in front of them, why'd you call him that?
Yeah, that's a kind of a stupid name. Is it a reference?
Imagine me being like 40 and still meeting new people that my dad knows that I've never met. And then being like, Tom, where'd that come from?
It's a bit unusual. Well, that did immediately make me think of all the people, and it's not an obscure reference, but everyone who named their daughters Khaleesi after Game of Thrones.
Sure.
And then by the end of the show being like, fuck, we really regret this now.
Yeah, but I mean, even at the start of the show, it's like, one of the first things you see of her is her being pumped doggy style.
Yeah.
Just being like, That's my baby girl.
And that's the good thing with Louis. I already know where the pitfalls of the name are.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's not like any of the kings were
worse.
good. Yeah. But he's a beautiful boy. He's very happy and social, and he's just outside this room.
He's super chill, I gotta say. It was kind of, I mean, it's still hard to do stuff at my house with QB in the mix.
Sure.
But he's very placid.
He's very placid, very independent. He loves to chew stuff, as all puppies do. But like he's visited some other dogs already, and
sick.
Basically just kind of bossed them around. So, I think we might have got an alpha.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Which, when I said that yesterday, my sister was very quick to say, "Oh, so it's the first one in our family."
That's good. That's good.
I
was
very
about
nice
to
stuff.
say that then, and I am glad I held off now.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Wonderful
Having
video
a dog
game
is
news.
the fucking best.
It really is.
I gotta say though, I thought it was interesting. I was hovering all weekend in our Discord in the pets channel.
Yeah.
And I thought, I on the one hand, I kind of respect, saving it for the pod.
Yep.
But I also was like, I mean, you got to give the patrons a little inside scoop here. Maybe they can get, maybe like right after we record this.
Yeah.
You can drop a pic in there so they can get like a 24-hour exclusive.
Well,
they can be the first ones to see a pic as well.
I will say, I'll drop more than one.
Yeah.
I reckon I've got about 25
get the bank
to 30.
going.
Yeah.
But good advertisement for our Patreon.
Absolutely,
We're a
it is.
listener-supported show. We do an
Yes.
extra bonus show every week. An hour plus of us talking about all the pop culture stuff that we like that is not video games.
Yeah.
It's basically the same style as this, but we chat about movies, we chat about TV shows.
Yes.
We chat about things we've done.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps the dog chat should have happened over there. But, we got a Discord too where people are always talking about, recommending stuff. And anytime a big game comes out, it's very exciting because
everyone's popping off in there.
Everyone's popping off in there.
Yeah.
So, get onto the filthycasuals.com.au. That's where you can find the link to the Patreon. And, if you want to sign up, help support the show.
It's very much appreciated.
Helps keep us doing this.
Yeah.
And very appreciated by us. And, you get a little something for it.
That's right. Yeah, it helps keep us in pet food, which is very important to both of us.
Something else that helps keep us in pet food is being invited to an event.
Yes.
With free drinks and free food.
Yeah, that was very handy. That was very nice of President Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin.
No. We got invited to a... I going in, I was like, I don't even fully know what this is.
Yeah.
It was basically an event put on by PlayStation Australia. And once I got there, I kind of was talking to them and realised what it is that their office is up in Sydney. And they don't really get much of a chance to rub shoulders with the Melbourne video game journalism elite.
That's right.
So they wanted to put on a little thing to get some media out. And then get their Playmakers out.
That's
which
right.
Is PlayStation's kind of influencer arm that they have.
Now, I rapidly exited the building before I could see any of the Playmakers.
Yeah, I got to see kind of the transit because it was like media earlier and then like you're welcome to stay. But then from 6, we're going to have a bit of a Playmaker filming influencer content kind of session.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was thrilling being there for the changeover and seeing the stark difference in
Were there a lot of
run
JJ's
a website.
hoodies? Were there a lot of JJ's hoodies and strap belts in the second half?
Don't piss me off. I'm about to level up and you look like just enough XP.
Oh boy!
But no, it was a great session.
Yeah, it was very fun.
It was at Yakimono in the city. It was great to meet the team from PlayStation Australia properly. We've conversed with them over email a little bit. They've sent us some stuff, sent us some codes, sent us some goodie bags and stuff in the past.
We've begged on our hands and knees for some free games.
Oh, we really have.
Yeah, and finally we've been rewarded with a little treat.
Yeah, it was a fun little setup. It was like cool little function room in this, sort of funky Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of TVs set up, and huge scoop for the pod. I, after, 2 years plus now, I finally have played Helldivers 2.
Oh.
Because they had that set up.
Yeah.
And I was playing it. I had no idea what I was doing.
But that's okay. We're going to spend at least an hour talking about it to make up for all of those weeks that we probably should have reviewed it.
I was in a busy room, so I couldn't really tell what I was meant to be doing.
Yep.
And one person from PlayStation came over and said, "Oh, I was like, yeah, I never played this." I was like relating how often we get harassed by people who listen to this podcast wanting us to play Helldivers 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of relaying that. And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, you sort of are meant to play it with other people, not just run around in it by yourself." And I was like, "Well, how would I know?" And so I was just basically doing that. I guess I was just doing like the, I don't know, tutorial or the single player. Yeah. And then another guy came over and said, "Oh, hey, I'm really sorry, but do you mind, like, I just want to get, like, these 3 TVs all linked up so that people can kind of all play it together."
Yeah.
And I went, "Brother, I've got no idea what I'm doing, so you are not interrupting anything at all." And then I went over and spent a bit of time playing Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
Yes.
Game that I've already finished and put 50 hours into, but I wanted familiarity.
Yeah, you were feeling a bit intimidated by all the big dogs.
Yeah. It's funny, like, a lot of those games that, like, Gamescom's just been on and the Tokyo Game Show's about to be on, and there are certain games that you see like, oh, it'll be playable at this. Like Silksong, for example, people were able to play at Gamescom.
Yes.
It's like not really a game that I would think lends itself to just playing in a little being dropped into the middle of like a random save. Like not really something that reveals itself too early onto you. Like a Mario Kart, you can just be like, sick, I'll just play a race.
Yeah.
But
even because I played a bit of Sword of the Sea.
Yep.
Which was fun, but it was like we're just surfing around some sand dunes.
Yeah.
Didn't see any enemies or
Didn't
combat
have any
or
idea
anything.
Of what I was meant to be doing.
Doing some fun tricks. Like it was at least that felt fun to play.
Yeah.
But we had a look at a bunch of other stuff. There was a cool Lego Horizon Zero Dawn thing there. What else was there?
I got to hold a PlayStation Portal.
Oh yes, we both handled the portal.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's light.
Yeah.
Good little bit of tech. We were both a little, I think a little swayed by just handling that sweet chunk of plastic.
And then a lady from PlayStation got up and gave a little presentation about what's coming up. And at that point, it was going to be the next morning at 4 a.m. local time was the state of play for the James Bond 007 First Light game.
Yes.
And she was like, so that'll be on at 4 a.m. And I turned to you and I said, are we just going to stay here and kick on until then? And that got a couple of chuckles.
Got a titter.
Standing around us.
It got a titter, that's for sure.
Yeah. Can I get elevated through the ranks of media by being officially the funniest one here? I've proven it.
Yeah.
But cool event.
Very nice of them to invite us along.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be biased towards PlayStation from now on.
Yeah, of course. It's funny
which will be a stark difference to the past.
It's funny because we are really in a bubble with doing this pod.
Totally, yeah.
And like I got there and like all the other people there, all these like other media games people, they all know each other.
Yeah,
Everyone was kind of hanging out chatting and I'm just there by myself being like, I don't know who anyone is. I'm just waiting for Ben to get here.
When's Ben getting here?
I want to interact with someone that I already see heaps during the week.
But no, it was very cool. They reminded us, of course, that Ghost of Yotei is coming out
quite soon.
In a month.
October the 2nd, I think.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm
Less
pumped.
than a month.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, that looks fucking awesome. And there's been a few little bits and pieces that dropped since they did the deep dive as well. Like some more like little weapon type gameplay trailers and shit like that. I think a trailer just showing off how nice the grass looks. And fuck me, it does look nice.
I want to touch that grass. I want to do the opposite of what that saying is referring to.
Yeah.
And touch the digital grass.
I remember talking to, I think, an ex about how, why I love video games.
Yep.
And it's like, well, you can experience, like the Wild West, the beautiful outcrops and mountains of Nevada. And she was like, but you could just go there.
What? Yeah, okay. I'll never watch a movie. I'll never engage with any media then. If I can just go there instead.
Because,
what I love about video games is when big monkey smash stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so no exes of mine have ever been able to find any fault in that logic.
Well, I also like jiggle physics, and unfortunately...
Yeah, I like big breasts, but they just, in the real world, they just don't bounce enough for me.
That's right, yeah. Or they bounce too much. It's very... I have a very small window. I want to be able to
control the slider of how much they jiggle. But hey, speaking of that 4 a.m. state of play, I did not stay up.
Oh, okay.
Nor did I wake up.
Yeah,
I woke up. several hours
like
after
about 5 to 6 hours later. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably 4 or 5 hours later.
Yeah, okay.
And I threw on the State of Play for 007 First Light.
Yeah. And
not a PlayStation exclusive.
No, but a good-looking game.
A good-looking game.
From the the makers of Hitman.
Yep.
And presumably
IO Interactive.
Dogman and Digman.
Oh, I wonder if they had any involvement in Dogman. Interesting.
I mean, it's an animated film, so you know, it's very similar kind of art form.
Yeah. But this is the first kind of... This got announced a little while ago. I think there was kind of a story trailer a couple of weeks back, but this is the first kind of proper look at what the game actually is.
Yes.
And I'll be goddamned. If you picture in your head, what if Hitman but James Bond? It that.
There are a few things that I was pleasantly surprised by. The driving stuff.
The driving looks cool.
Which, of course, if you had to write a bullet point list of things that James Bond should do in a video game... Turning around in an expensive car, that makes sense.
That is what's interesting about it. The core of it is stuff that IO are obviously very good at.
Yes.
There's such an overlap with what's his name? Agent 47?
That's right.
In
Agent
Hitman.
69?
What Austin Powers? What he does in Hitman and what James Bond does in a typical James Bond film.
Yes.
But then, I don't think that... Because... In Hitman, you're in that level.
You're in that arena,
you play that arena and that's it.
Yeah.
So, driving and even like the shooting, when you do it, it is good in Hitman. But the whole point is that you're, I think, hopefully trying to not get to that point.
Yes.
I mean, you can, if you want to be a real gun about it, you can go in guns blazing and just be like, yeah, I'm going to try and get my way out of this absolute blazing... shootout, but it's pretty tricky.
Yeah.
And probably not the recommend. I think there's like an achievement thing when you're going through and trying to like tick off everything for doing it in that style. So it is cool to see them, have this foundation of what they do really well, but then be able to kind of like push out to the edges a little more and try some fresh things.
Yeah. Which I'm not sure how I felt about it after watching this through. You kind of immediately in that morning were like, it looks fucking cool. And it does look cool, but there are like the driving itself. I was like, I don't know, like I wonder how that feels to some of the physics.
It's an interesting like presentation because it is just like half an hour of someone in real time playing through the game.
Yeah.
So it's not like when they do those deep dive Nintendo Directs or whatever. Even like the Ghost of Yotei one was very much like taking you through a bunch of stuff that's in it. This really was like you were just sitting there watching someone play the game, which was kind of cool, I guess, and sort of makes sense for really getting across what they're doing here.
Yeah.
And I will say too, like it looks great.
Yeah.
But even in this, it was like stuttering a little bit. There were some weird visual things. I think the facial animations are a little busted.
Yeah.
Which when they're driving into this big mansion, the scenery looks incredible. Like it looks stunning, and perhaps maybe pushing the hardware a little bit too hard. But then anytime it cut to a little cutscene and two people are talking to each other, it's like it just kind of looks a little bit dank.
Yeah, a little bit dated.
Yeah,
and it is a shame because especially like Hitman, you want to be able to sort of. You want there to be some kind of investment in the mission and to be able to recognize who you're hunting down and stuff like that. But Hitman himself, Agent 69, it's like, he's kind of a blank canvas, and that's the point. That's fine. James Bond, he's got to have some fucking riz. Like...
Yeah, and I was pretty skeptical about the idea that it's pre him being an assigned agent.
Yep.
And because I kind of felt like, well, that could just be any game. That could just be any other new IP.
That could just be a spy game.
Yeah, here's the setup. You're a young guy who wants to be a spy. The whole thing of wanting to role play as James Bond is that you're playing as the James Bond that we know from the films.
Sure.
But seeing it in action, I'm into it. It's kind of cool. And it does feel like maybe that's like an excuse for them to bring in a little bit of like Uncharted style of stuff as well. It does have a lot of like scurrying across the ledge of a building, and a bit of climbing, and he's a lot like, he's kind of a lot more, he seems a lot more like vocal and kind of like sassy than Bond is in the films. I mean, Bond's very like charming.
He's very charming and dry,
like, mute, but it's very dry. It's like a younger guy who's a bit of a Nathan Drake level smart ass, like younger reckless kind of dude.
Yes.
Seems like it does fit the video game sort of aesthetic a bit more nicer than an older take on the character would have been. And
it would have been too similar to Hitman. Like Hitman in himself, like he's reserved, but he's effective. Like, and that is kind of a Sean Connery kind of Bond. But this is, I completely agree. It's kind of like the protagonist from the Jedi Fallen Order series as well. That like younger guy, sort of generic-ish looking face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know why I'm skeptical after seeing it. It is just like, do they have the chops or the background in developing physics for vehicles and more complex like motion and stuff. Because
and the storyline in Hitman is like quite dumb.
Yeah.
The scenarios that are self-contained within each level are really cool.
Yes.
But the broader thing of it is like so stupid.
It is.
Which works for what it is, but the idea of having it called the world of assassination.
I was gonna say, literally.
Like that doesn't, there's so much about like the format of those games, as we're saying, that like you can overlay directly into a James Bond game. But things like that, like a character having a barcode tattooed on their neck and it being called the world of assassination, it's like, well, you got to get rid of all of that. And maybe that's a shame, because I do think they do that in like kind of a Kojima-ish kind of way. It's very silly, but it just adds to it. It just makes it so
it's a little camp
and fun. Yeah.
Which, Bond should also be camp, and I'm sure it will be. It'll have some high camp moments and some silly stuff, but you also don't want to turn off your straight down the line gamer who's like, I want to run around and shoot people and like climb walls. And
when's it set? I assume it's like present day. Like
that's a good question.
Not going like, the Bond. What is the official?
There's no official canon of it, right?
Okay, because so when it's like the same actor, they all exist in the one world.
I guess.
But then the next time it's a new guy, it's
full
just
reset.
Because he'd be what, like fucking 90 or something by now.
He'd be however old Sean Connery is or was.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously Daniel Craig, his Bond films, they're not set in the 60s. Like they're set present day, and it all just moves forward. I didn't. Because
that would have been an incredible stylistic choice if they'd said, we're setting them in the 60s.
Yep.
And yes, there'll be a Bond girl, and yes, we are going to treat her like shit.
Her name's going to be heaps of titties or something.
Yeah.
No,
that would be. I mean, you can't do it.
No.
It's outdated, and it's
the world's gone soft,
and rightly so.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they went for it, if they took a big swing, it'd be. It'd be funny. You'd have to respect it. We'd enjoy it.
I think maybe based on like the cars and stuff, it might be set in the past.
That's what I was trying to. I didn't really clock anything like particularly. I mean, he's always had gadgets, and you can. They had gadgets in the 60s. The whole point was that they were like ahead of their time technologically.
Totally.
But I don't recall seeing anything that super jumped out as being present day or. Tied to any specific time frame.
Someone's going to comment on this video or podcast and be like, they said the date was 1962 in the first frame.
Or like he's on an iPhone the entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think just based on how they do all of their, like the investigative stuff and the tracking and the hunting and the hiding, that we know is going to be fun. Like it's a fucking blast to do it in Hitman. So you're probably going to have to, or can assume that's going to be a big tick, but... Yeah, just curious to see how it actually feels to play.
Yeah, I thought it gave me... I'm not a big Bond fan by any stretch. I could have, really taken or left this. But watching this, I was like, okay, I'm interested. This looks fun. This does look like a good marrying of, the Hitman sensibility, a bit of Uncharted, a bit more to do outside of like just those missions of being in like a warehouse or a mansion. I'm more into like the character and the setup than I thought I would be. Again, for someone who has like zero attachment to the James Bond world.
And just inventing a new guy. Like not really being inspired by fucking Pierce Brosnan or Craig or anyone like that. So it's the smart move, and it allows them to kind of do whatever they want with that character, I guess. Looks cool.
Looks cool.
A+.
Need to see more of it. A+ already.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's great.
Even though I was kind of skeptical about
we
it.
don't even have to play it when it comes out now.
Yeah.
We're leaking a review.
Yep.
4 months early.
Game of the year.
Game of the year.
That's right.
For 2026.
That's absolutely.
Fuck, incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, A, it's not out yet, and B, when it is out, it's like February. So it's so early on in the year.
I'm calling it now.
Fuck, all right.
Yeah.
This has really rocked me. This is such a crazy scoop.
Yeah.
I bet none of the journalists at that PlayStation event have have an exclusive like this.
Well, when you're busy like actually socializing and fraternizing with each other and having like, a friendly relationship, you're missing out on all the scoops.
You're missing out on the time you could be spending just pulling shit out of your ass and just making it up something and saying it as if it's fact.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, is it time to get into some reviews?
Yeah, let's talk video games.
Yeah.
I think it's time to talk fucking Turkey. Mm-hmm. The big game of the past week. It's been long rumored, finally revealed. Mm-hmm. It's out now, of course.
What's he going to say?
It's called...
What could he possibly say?
Hollow Knight Silksong.
Oh, fuck.
From the fucking folks at Team Cherry.
Yeah, the ultimate twist is to not do a twist.
That's right. Yeah.
Well played.
And I was probably just going to...
win the internet for today.
Epic.
Epic.
Awesome sauce.
Epic bacon.
Silksong, it's out. We watched all the fucking trailers. We saw the hype. We heard that people were playing it and didn't really hear much about how it felt. But it's here.
It's here, and it crashed every eShop that it was available on.
Yes.
I mean, it's almost like it is quite rare for a big game to come out at the exact same time. Like big first party releases are like midnight in your region.
Yeah.
But this was same time everywhere.
And because you couldn't. Actually,
you couldn't preload it. No.
Yeah, you couldn't preload it. I was going to say you couldn't pre-order it. You probably could, but you couldn't preload it. So exactly, like it's everyone's fucking jumping on there, dropping their $30 Australian, which is I think a pretty reasonable price for this.
I got on there at midnight, and it was crazy. You would open the eShop, and it just went nah.
Fuck.
And I was just kind of doing it to like set. Not that it's a big file, but I was just like, I just want to do this. I'll just get it done, and then I can get up in the morning, and it's there.
Yeah.
And it was just sitting there plugging away. But then meanwhile, other people are like raring to... It's like 3 p.m. in their time zone. They're like actually raring to go and like get stuck in, and like they've taken the day off work and whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty crazy for an indie game.
Yeah.
Made by like 6 people or whatever.
Yeah.
In Adelaide, no less.
Oh, yeah. Now, that is the strangest thing about all of it.
Yeah.
The city of churches, Adelaide.
I got a post come up in my feed that was like Channel 7 News Adelaide, like local news report about it, which is very funny.
Yeah,
and like a few comments in there being like, "How is this news?" It's like, how's anything news?
Yeah, it impacts a lot of people.
You could say who cares about literally anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not in the Ukraine.
Yeah,
who gives a fuck?
Yeah. And it being like, any entertainment news. It's like, I don't know. A new film's being, filmed on location in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Someone being like, who cares?
Did I tell you I was at a trivia night a while ago, and the guy running the trivia was like, okay, now we've got a question about the Kardashians. And this old boomer guy near me went, who cares? And it's like, mate, the question before this was about risotto. Like, it's trivia.
Yeah. It's in the fucking name, brother.
He's not getting like, okay, question 8, what's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
Question 9, how do you be happy?
Yeah. The answer is, of course, watch the Kardashians and everything they produce. It's gold content.
Yep. But I have not played a ton of this game. I've put in a couple little hours. I have to be honest, this new recording schedule day for something that comes out at the end of the week, I'm still getting my head around I got to put in more time over the weekend.
Yeah, I've got to give up my days off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I've probably, dabbled, played the start of it. I
will say a lot of my time so far has been getting my ass whooped on the same bit again and again. I probably have been sitting down in front of it for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
But just being... and people who are deep into Hollow Knight have remarked on this so far online as well. The main thing I've found about it straight out of the gate is that it is immediately quite punishing.
Yeah, I just read...
I don't recall Hollow Knight being as... I think it gave you way more of a gimme in the early stages.
Yeah, I read this great piece on Polygon about exactly this and sort of touching on the fact that, it was meant to be DLC initially.
Yep.
So it would have been something you'd played after finishing, or at least playing as much as you could possibly play of the first one.
Because you're coming to it because you're wanting a more of a chat. DLC is often it's here's a challenge mode or
and certainly for Souls-like games, which Hollow Knight is so similar in so many ways. That DLC is always here's 8 really hard bosses.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. But also they pointed out within that article, apparently, just literally there's more rest spots. So there's more places to save.
Sure.
There's more places to replenish your health than Hollow Knight. It's
very overwhelming. It's very the number of branching pathways, which are part of any Metroidvania. But I feel like this and Hollow Knight, more than any of the others, they really... It's often a little clearer, hey, it's funneling you a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't feel like these games really have any of that. And and not to say that that's a fault, because that's kind of part of what the sickos love about it is how overwhelming the map is.
Totally, yes.
But it does mean that it's hard to... It feels like this, perhaps more than most other games, it's going to take that while to, really click and really suck you in.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, I've made a little bit of progress, but I'm a little disoriented. I'm on this boss that's just punishing me.
Right.
To the point where I'm do I not have enough? Have I sort of accidentally missed unlocking an ability or something that would make this attack easier to get around or whatever? But it looks beautiful. What I also really love about this is that after 6 years of hype, it did just kind of drop.
Yep.
From the announcement to the release date was 2 weeks. And, so then they're not even really needing to be that much hype in that window of release. And there being no pre-release reviews or anything. So everyone's kind of... I like when something comes out and everyone's kind of figuring it out at the same time. You don't get the review embargo go up and go into it being oh, okay, it's sitting on a 90 on Metacritic or whatever. It does feel like... And I've seen so much split sort of discourse on this of people going obviously anything like this... The contrarians come out thick and fast almost immediately it's just the same game again. It's just a fucking Metroidvania.
Right.
Which is tough because, they've obviously... There's a lot about this that is expanded upon and improved and changed from the first one. But it is more of the first one. And the first one was a really beautifully, competently done Metroidvania. But I don't think even within that genre it was doing... It's not like it was a revolutionary game in and of itself.
Right.
It probably mostly the fusing of the Metroidvania and that real Souls-like
I think
combat was the main thing.
Yes.
But then even that has been copied and iterated on in the last 6 years. And this just doing that with the design being, they've had more time, they've had more money. It's all a lot more intricate. There's more writing in it. The protagonist speaks in this one, but it is more of the same, and for the people that love Hollow Knight 1, that's all they want.
And especially given it is more of a challenge by all reports. So having never played the first one, I don't have any of that fatigue, any of that this is just more of Hollow Knight. I do still have 6+ years of playing 2D side-scrolling action Metroidvanias, and I guess also the benefit of playing the ones that have come after things like Hollow Knight and have introduced some gimmick or interesting mechanic or... I don't know.
I'm probably an outlier too where, like, I liked Hollow Knight a lot, but it's not my favourite of the genre.
Right.
Is the other thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about it this morning when I was playing it and this...
Louis chewing on your bag.
This idea of, like... a game where you just get, like, punished again and again and again by the same bit.
Yep.
Especially when it's bosses and, like, I don't have the greatest reflexes. And, yeah, what I look for when I sit down to play a game isn't to just be doing the same bit again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely appreciate it and that great feeling when you finally do get through it. But I play a game to relax, and in those bits I just get so, like, frustrated, like, you fucking idiot.
Yes.
You've lost it again.
Yep.
And so it is, like, a little out of step with, like, what my favourite mode of playing games is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of why, even though I've, like, enjoyed them and spent a lot of time with something like Elden Ring, a lot of that time was doing the same stuff again and again and kind of bouncing off it because it's getting to a point where I'm like, yeah, I want to sit down and I've got an hour.
Yep.
I want to get through a couple of levels of something. Like, for me, the balance of something like a Donkey Kong Bonanza where it's, like, fairly easy to just cruise through, but then if you want to spend your time with it in the back end, like, that's where a lot of the challenge is. Like, it's kind of a thing at the end.
It's purely optional. Yeah.
And there is some punishing stuff in that at the end. Like, this thing of, like, early on getting no graces is, like, it's tough. And it's like, I think, like, having not really played a game like this for a little while where it's like, you just have to meet it on its own terms.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Yes.
But yeah, it looks beautiful.
It does, yeah.
The style of it is great. The music is great.
All the funny little enemies, all the enemy design is fantastic. The palette of especially where you start, where it's all green and beautiful and, vines and leaves, and then it goes into more like fucking bony HR Giga looking stuff and flames and...
Even that I feel like is way more immediate than in the first one. I know there are different regions that are, like, visually very distinct from one another, but I don't recall it being, like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall it being, like, as stark and as immediate of, like, you're in here now, and, like, the map that you get you have to pay for, which is, like, in just for that section, and so you've kind of, like, moved on.
Right.
The cheaper one is the map for the place you've already been, which is probably, like, more beneficial for finding those little, like, nooks and crannies that you haven't quite explored.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, it's definitely one that you need to be, like, really heavily engaging with.
Absolutely.
And really thinking about where you are in the map. And, like, I mean, I never quite made it to the end of Hollow Knight 1 because I moved house while I was playing it, and then I just didn't pick it up for, like, 2 weeks, and it's like... It really is once you're... Even when I'm playing it for a bit and I come back, like, later that day, I'm like, wait, where the fuck am I? Like, you really need to be so locked into it.
Yeah, totally. And, similar in many ways to Souls-likes in that sort of, like, you need to remember where the guy's going to jump out from behind that corner, and you need to... Which I think, we talked about a lot at the time. Maybe you should put your bag on the table.
What's he doing?
All right. We talked about a lot at the time that the benefit of Elden Ring was that you can leave and go do something else. You can go off to another area of the map. You can go and upgrade your skills to come back to that boss, and not just by grinding over and over and over again in the same area. And not that this is not a criticism in the sense that this is a bad thing about the game, but it is a different style of approaching a game full stop where you just have to be good enough to get past that next boss.
Yeah, you kind of can go and explore and fill out the map a little bit more. I mean, it's so big and expansive, I think, almost immediately that, like, I'm stuck on a bit that I'm just feeling like I am going to have to potentially get through this guy at some point anyway, so I may as well try and do it now.
Right.
Although, I am starting to get the thing of, like, you know what? Maybe I do just need to go and dick around in the map a little bit more. And I might find that I've, somehow... Because at every point, I'm like, I'm pushing away towards one direction. But at every stage of where I've kind of ended up, there's been a point where I'm like, I could have gone down, or I could have gone up here, or there's a thing that I sort of I hit a switch, and that sort of that opened up a little thing where I could have gone down, but I felt like, no, I think I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna go to one side until I kind of hit a point where I can't go anymore, and then maybe I'll go back down there then. It definitely it is. It really does feel like from like minute one of playing it that you're like 40% of the way in, but you've stepped away from it for 3 weeks, and you're I don't know where anything is.
Yeah, no, that's a good way of describing it.
That first one, it really did have that early, like any of these intricate, like not even Metroidvanias, like that game that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, where it sort of does the thing where the first whatever half hour or so, you're like, yeah, piece of fucking piss, mate.
Right.
Where it sort of, you're like, yeah, cool, this is the whole game then, easy peasy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, now I'm gated in this bit, and I actually have to really, really think about this. Oh, okay, now it's really revealing what the challenge is here, and what the toughness of this is. This just, I feel like, from memory, Hollow Knight, it had a bit more of a like...
little bit, a
way
lead in.
through where you were like learning some moves, and this still does that, but it's like, straight away you're getting the overwhelming branching pathways, you're getting like the quite difficult bosses. Like, I feel like it was a fair chunk into Hollow Knight that I was like, oh, this game's hard. But this straight away is like, even just like enemies you encounter are pretty punishing. Like,
yes. Yeah. I think, another thing that I read was that, it's not until a fair way into the first one that you encounter enemies that can take off like 2 of your health points.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's like literally 10 minutes into this one where you start seeing those kind of enemies.
And so, I think I just need to give it a bit more time to, fully lock in. Because I can't say I've felt myself being fully grabbed yet. But I also am coming to this as someone who, liked the first one. Wasn't someone who has been salivating over this for the last 6 years.
Sure.
I like what I'm playing, but I'm not like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing of all time.
I think I feel extremely similarly, where I appreciate that everything it's doing so far is competent, like looks great, the controls feel good to me. Like I've seen some people comment on the fact that the Hornet character is, controls a little bit differently to the character in the first one. But, I mean, it all feels pretty good to me. The sort of like the way that you're platforming and sort of jumping up against the edge of a ledge and hooking your way onto it. And all the attacking stuff is feels pretty good to me.
I think for me, like, in these games, my favorite part of it is I love filling out a map. I love like kind of in Animal Well. I thought the like design of that map screen was so good at letting you'd like zoom in and you'd see like a little, there's like a little gap here where all the other lines are solid. I thought that was the top of that roof. I guess that means there's something up there. Yeah. I love doing that stuff. I kind of, that is my favorite thing about a Metroidvania is filling out the map. Yep. I'm not someone that like loves a punishing boss, even though I love that feeling that I get from getting it done. But I mean, the people that loved Hollow Knight seem to be like wrapped with this. Sure. That it's like really scratching that itch and it's delivering on what they wanted after 6 years. I just need to spend a bit more time with it. But overall, it's like incredibly accomplished. Like the amount of stuff that's clearly in here. And I mean, this is great, but them pricing it how they've priced it and people being like, this is crazy for a game with this much stuff in it to be this cheap is obviously then getting us into a thing where, the next AAA thing that comes along that's another $110, $120, like people have been like, every game should be priced this way. It's like, it doesn't work that way. When your previous game sold 15 million copies and you're a team of like 5, then it's easy to keep the costs down.
Yes. I've seen, I can't remember, who said it, but there has been a developer come out and be like, similar to when people within the industry reacted to Baldur's Gate 3 being like so big, so comprehensive, so complex, ran so well on some platforms and at certain points.
Yep.
Being like about this, like, man, this game being so good and so cheap, it's setting the wrong expectation for the industry.
Yeah.
Which, you're right, it's like they're in a unique position where they have a small team, low operating costs. I'm sure the rent for an office in Adelaide is not that expensive.
Yeah.
They just dedicated the last 6 years to it because they made $100 million from their last game. It is a unique
It just does set this kind of like weird precedent with games where, you know, a cinema ticket is a cinema ticket, whereas a game, you know, what are you paying for? Are you paying for the amount of time that you're going to put into it? Are you paying for the size of the development team?
Right, the amount of time they put into making it.
The time that it took them, like their wages. It's hard if you're only going to base it on like, well, the game goes for this long, so it shouldn't be priced over this much. But then if something like this can come along that is like probably that will end up being the length of a AAA title and is significantly cheaper than that.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I think the main thing is people like to consider something like this as being the sort of that this will like pave the way for the future, but this is the outlier.
Right.
This isn't the thing, and like I don't think anyone at Team Cherry would be thinking about this decision as like this is going to change the way games are priced in the industry.
Yeah,
they're just going like, the first one cost about this much. It's all digital. There'll be a physical run at some point, but
we'll make our money back.
Exactly,
like, you know, in terms of what we need to sell it for. Like,
we don't. It would be crazy to make it like $100 just because all of a sudden it's like up there and anticipated. Right. You know, and they would. And I mean, they would get. I mean, they just would get burnt to the ground if they were like, it's $90.
Yeah, but then also maybe they would have made 4 times as much money. Like. Which my maths is spot on there, by the way. Maybe they would have made enough money to be like, we this time we made fucking $500 million. But people might not have liked it.
I am enjoying it. It's felt very surreal to finally be playing it after it being a meme for so long, and like, I love that it exists. I love that a small team was able to get. To basically break all of the shop fronts at once. For a small team from Adelaide. Like, that's crazy. Like, that barely ever happens with, like, top-tier AAA stuff. It's, like, hotly anticipated.
Exactly. Like, the only comparison is, like, people struggling to log on to the Call of Duty servers. Which, you know, is just, like, a fucking global phenomenon.
I mean, it did really make me think, like, thank God that this game, like, it's for the first hour or however long, it's a little tricky to get on the e-store and get it downloaded. But then once it is downloaded, then you clear.
Yes,
This is a game that did have to be online.
Right,
you'd be fucked.
Yeah. It's like a 2.5 gig download.
Yeah.
You got the whole goddamn thing. But yeah, I think...
It was funny to imagine them, I presume, you know, that night, launch night in Adelaide, the Farmers Union was a-flowing. Fruit chocks as far as the eye can see.
The Balfour's pies were stacked high.
The pie floaters were a-floating.
God.
And it's just funny, like, picturing it in my head like something out of a movie.
Where,
you know, they're all there and they're like counting down to midnight.
Sure.
Champagne cork goes off and, you know, maybe they've got like the Steam storefront. Just logged in on
they've
one
got
of the
their
computers.
sales
They're like,
ticker.
hey, let's buy one just for, hey! And then it's like someone comes running in. We're hearing reports that the e-shops have crashed in every country around them and just being like, is this bad? Is this bad?
Yeah.
What do you mean no one can buy the game?
Oh, man. Yeah, the fucking...
Even just like the people in at Nintendo just being like, hey, we just heard the eShop's gone down. It's like, what?
Yeah.
We don't have a game out today.
Yeah. Oh, good on him, though. Good on him, Team Cherry. Well done. If you ever want to be on the podcast, just let us know. That's right. You reach out to us.
Open invite.
Yeah.
Open invite for the third mic.
Yes. Or for however many. We can fit you all in here.
We can fit you all in. We could come to you.
I am going to Adelaide in a few weeks. So, yeah, I'm going to do that thing where I knock on the door.
Yeah.
But I've also been playing another game that is kind of weirdly similar in some ways.
That is weird.
It's It's odd, right?
Playing a video game that's a bit like another video game?
It doesn't happen often.
I've never heard of it.
No. But yeah, I've been playing the game Hell Is Us. I talked about playing the demo a few weeks ago. And I'm still really, really loving it. Cool. Sadly, it did not carry over the progress.
Oh, that's annoying.
But I actually think that the demo had maybe more stuff. There were more enemies. There was a bit more stuff in it.
Oh, yeah. Seems so it's not like that area. It's not like an exact transplant.
No.
That area. It's like a kind of condensed.
And yeah, well, running through it in the full game, it's actually a lot quicker. And probably because you just know what to do now. Because a lot of the game is exploration, looking for clues, kind of looking down nooks and crannies, picking up little objects where it's like, oh, this is like a talisman, and I think maybe it might have... Oh, was there like a sun-shaped hole that I could have put that in back in the level? And so there's a lot of that sort of, backtracking interactivity, not Metroidvania-esque, but sort of that unguided exploration.
Yeah, that's the main thing I've read about this, is that it tells you early on there's no waypoint, there's no map.
Yeah.
You just have to be you just have to take your Dexy and log on, brother.
That's right.
No checking your phone.
Yeah, this game's
staring
for big
out
boys.
the window.
Yeah. And so it is very, very fun for that reason.
Cool.
You have this great sort of like old green and black like MS-DOS interface thing where it's all like pixelated or, pixel text. And so you're tracking sort of your quest as this mind map almost, where it's like, okay, this person's over here and these are the details you know about them, and you're like sort of cursoring over each sort of little icon, and it's giving you all the backstory. But in terms of how it plays, it really is like, what if Resident Evil didn't have like... I guess that doesn't have waypoints and markers and quest markers and shit, does it?
Good question. I think it maybe might on the map. Like, you kind of know where you're meant to go.
Oh, that's true. Well, there is a map.
Open a map, but there's never like a big arrow GTA style kind of pointing to where you're meant to go.
And in this game, literally, like, you can like maybe find a map if you go in the right cave, but it's literally like a drawing of a map of like the area with like maybe an arrow, because you know that, like an arrow drawn onto the map because the person who owned the map was like, we're going this way.
Isn't it? It's the funniest video game convention that, like, I love games where they try and like when there's like an in-world reason for like when you die you just regenerate. Right. Or like, healing, like, you're actually like bandaging yourself up. You're like, okay, this tracks.
Yep.
But unfortunately there really is no logical reason for like, oh yeah, look, I just found this perfectly drawn out map of the area that someone left here. And not only, I could accept that maybe that would happen once. Right. But the fact that it might happen every like 10 minutes. Yeah. You just keep finding maps that people have drawn and then just left behind in a chest in a cave.
Totally, yeah. This like soldier had a map that kind of looks like it's a tourist map, and he drew on it like convoy going this way.
And it's so detailed. It's got every single room.
Yep.
It's got where treasure is.
Yeah. I mean, look, treasure maps is the one thing I will accept as being just actually from history.
Yep.
But also, like them being in video game scenarios where it's like a science fiction future where you have like a little data pad on your wrist, and yet you're picking up like folded tourist maps and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But
and also like you can't access a map of places you've already been. Like you have no memory. You could never have written this down. It's not until you find the one that someone else has written out that then you can look and be like, yes, I have been all these places.
This game actually does have a pretty good framing device explanation for why you can die and respawn.
I love it.
Which is that the cold open is you being interrogated by someone who is like, okay, now tell me the story. Every time you die, they're like, come on, you got to keep, like, you can't just stop there. You got to, like, keep telling me the story.
That's cool.
So, like, start back. You were at that place, like, and it's not as verbose as that. It's literally like, keep telling the story.
And it's never, I mean, there's never going to be one that's better than in Death Stranding, where your character, literally a core part of the lore of the entire world of the game is that there are some people that just can't die.
Yeah. And when you die, you see a vision of going into, I guess, a womb or something, and a baby gives you the thumbs up.
Reborn.
Yeah.
It's like, cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
This all makes sense.
And this, like, it kind of does have a lot of Kojima-esque touches, sort of like deep lore, lots of strange inventions, sort of like slightly left of reality sort of world and country and place and all of that stuff. And it looks fucking cool.
Sick.
Like, it really looks fantastic. I did have to turn the brightness up. Mm-hmm. It's a very dreary kind of world, but sort of all the details and the tech and the explanation for what's going on. I think it's fascinating. It's a really well told story so far. And yeah, like I said, when I reviewed the demo, sort of simplistic combat at first. You're just attacking, or you're holding down to build up a heavy attack and then releasing.
Yep.
And then you have this little drone guy, and you sort of find these little drone modules that become basically special abilities. Like you hold down R2, and it's like whichever enemy you got locked on, press circle, and the drone will distract them. Mm-hmm. And then you sort of get ones that are more combat focused, like you activate it and you do like a fucking 360 attack with the drone and like a couple of little things like that. It has this mechanic that it was in Bloodborne, it was in something else recent where if you keep attacking, you can regenerate health.
Oh yeah.
In this game, you keep attacking, and then a white ring, sort of glowing ring appears, and you're meant to press R1 while it's active, and then you get that little chunk of health back. I'm finding the timing is really, really difficult. Sure. Because it's literally while you're also attacking.
Yeah. I do love that mechanic in Silksong. Sorry, just to quickly go back.
Yes.
Like every time you hit an enemy, you build up a gauge, and then you can, if you can do it uninterrupted, you can press a button to regenerate your health. That's very cool.
You bind.
Yeah.
I guess because it's like silk.
Sure.
So, given that I have, and it's user error, but I haven't mastered that.
Yeah.
I'm finding it pretty tough. So, and I've probably played it maybe 3-4 hours.
Sure.
And the enemies are tough. Like they are difficult. They have this thing where most of the time they're these sort of like white, faceless humanoid things, but every now and then you'll encounter one that has this like elemental thing linked to it. So you'll run up to it, and then all of a sudden it would spawn like a big red glowing fucking ball of energy. And you have to kill that energy before you can kill the enemy.
Right.
And so it ends up being that you have more enemies that are attacking you at once, and you're maybe under-equipped for it. And I've just gotten overwhelmed a couple of times. Yeah. But I really find the story interesting, and it looks fucking cool. And
sick.
Game of the year. A+.
Game of the year for this year or 2026?
2027.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I think they're going to release an upgraded version in 2027.
They probably will, It'll come to other stuff. Yeah.
So, No, but I really like it. I haven't looked into what the devs have made before, but this is a hell of a swing for the fences, and I really, really like it. I recommend it. It's not $30 though, so no. I guess harass them to drop the price.
That always works.
It does tend to work in my experience. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to next week playing that Lego Voyages game. The little co-op.
Yes.
Lego game where you play a little sentient Lego brick.
We'll give that a little burl.
Yeah, give it a burl. I want to try and play it with Lauren. I think.
Nice. Yeah.
We've been together nearly 6 years. It's time to. It's time to turn this thing onto expert mode.
Yeah,
play a cooperative video game together.
Yeah.
See, babe, if we can survive this, we can weather anything. I'm hearing good things about this Switch 2 port of Star Wars Outlaws.
Yes.
There were some people who played it at Gamescom and were reporting that it wasn't running particularly well, and they weren't allowed to take footage of it, which kind of makes people think like, what are you hiding? But now that it's out, people are like, if you've got access to a PS5, then of course that's the better way to play it, or a PC, a high-end PC. But for being a big, decent-looking AAA
open world fucking,
game.
Yeah.
I think it's apparently a pretty consistent 30 in handheld. And It's doing some ray tracing as well, which seems pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, the videos I watched, I'm like, yeah, it looks like a pretty decent way to play it.
And I loved the game. I thought it was really, really fun.
It looks cool. It's a shame that it didn't get more props. I think it probably suffered from there being another Star Wars kind of series of games that are out that people also enjoy.
Yeah, and people just being fucking jack of Ubisoft doing the same template over and over, which, I don't know, it came at the right time for me. It almost felt like a bit of a throwback game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play many of them, so it is always the case where once you go in, if it's been a while since you've done a real meat and potatoes open world game.
Yeah.
Again, talking about like what I like about playing games and what I want to get out of them when I sit down. It's that level of kind of relaxation and unwinding and switching off. And there's nothing better for that than just like, here's some missions.
Yes.
It's going to tell you exactly where to go and what to do. Mm-hmm. There might be a bit of challenge, but maybe not all that much. You
can hoon around on a dirt bike or a hover bike, or you can upgrade your fucking gun. You can change the color of your shirt.
Yep.
It's a great game for that.
I like sitting down for an hour and a half and feeling like I got an hour and a half worth of content delivered at me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, a boss that takes me 5 hours total to, you know, like every time I sit down, I'm just trying to do the one thing.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm up for that, but more often than not, you know, I'm chucking the console on at like 9 p.m.
Sure.
You know, I'm doing a couple of hours before bed.
Yeah.
I don't want to get fucking furious at some big cunt with an axe
for
2 hours before I go to sleep.
Yeah. But having said that, this is just first impressions of Hollow Knight Silksong. Don't get annoyed at us.
I am
we'll
into
keep
it. I just
going
haven't. Yeah, I'll check back in with more thoughts next week.
Absolutely. I was going to say I'm definitely going to keep playing it. I'm going to keep playing both of these games, and I do expect Silksong to grab me at some point.
It's just totally not the kind of game that is going to fully reveal itself to you in the early stages.
Yes.
I feel like, again, and also the other thing is, this is the hard thing. People always ask us like, oh, how does doing the pod like change how you play a game?
Mm-hmm.
And it's something like this where you're kind of like, you know, you're wanting to put as much time into it as you can before we record.
Yeah.
And you're wanting to see as much of it as you can before we record. And if there's a bit that's like really challenging, that's taking you a couple of hours to get through, I start to find that annoying because I'm really like, I want to just see a bit more of this so I have more to talk, you know, so I have more like impressions for the pod.
Yep.
Whereas if I was just playing it of my own time, I probably would be more open to just like, this is my one game for, you know, the next couple of months. Like, I'm glad to have a challenge. It takes as long as it takes. Doesn't really matter as much. Like, I think like for this, we do feel like a bit more of an obligation to kind of burn through stuff a bit more quickly.
Exactly, because we know a new game's going to come out in a week. So I've got to... Because I still want to keep playing, and I have been playing more of Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Oh, sure.
And I've gotten up to a boss in that, which the whole point of it is that it's about patience.
Yeah.
And it's about waiting for your right moment. Literally spending, you know, an hour in-game just like waiting to see if someone will move.
Yeah.
You know, I'd heard stories about this particular boss in the past from people who played the original. Mm-hmm. And I want to be able to enjoy it without being like, I want to get to the fucking next bit of the game.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit down and do it.
Yeah, but I will say I am still enjoying Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Yeah, cool.
A+. Game of the Year, 2004.
Oh, my God. Well, I think that's going to do us.
I think it is.
For another week. For another gosh darn week on here.
That's right.
The rumour mill is flying thick and fast that there will be a Nintendo Direct this week.
That's right.
Seems like a certainty. It's the 40th anniversary of a little fat plumber by the name of Mario this week, which people seem to think there's going to be some kind of... They'll do something for that.
Yep.
I mean, they just
Mario
are
game.
overdue for letting us know more plans for the Switch 2, but I hope that happens.
Yeah.
The rumour is that it's going to be on September 11.
Fantastic. There's nothing funny about that. But I will never forget when this
I'll never
airs.
Well, hopefully it'll be a Nintendo Direct that we never forget.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks for listening, everyone. As we said, get on the Patreon, support the show. Anything else we have to say?
Not really. Except,
let us know what you're thinking of Hollow Knight.
Yes, we'd love to hear that. Actually, we can do some listener reviews. If you're on the Patreon, leave a comment on this episode, or email us, or get us on Instagram if you want to. Let us know what you think of Hollow Knight Silksong, if you are especially a long-time fan of the first one. Thank you for listening, and as we say here at the end of every episode of Filthy Casuals,
Hollow Knight 3 when?